Hi everyone, I'm Katie Riley and I'm part of this year's 10th grade CCD team. Now that you've heard about what prayer is and your relationship with God, I'm going to talk about your invitation to pray. Now I could tell you that active prayer or being an active participant in prayer means that I kneel every morning in prayer, that I start every meal with grace, or that I say a decade of the rosary before bed. That is actively praying, right? But I don't. And even if I did, I don't think that is all prayer means. And honestly, I can't even say that I know what your prayer life should look like because I don't know that either. But I can share with you what an active prayer life means to me. There are so many pieces to the faith puzzle, and prayer is just one piece. When I attend Mass, I feel like this is my time to be in a place with my community of believers. We all have something in common here. We're all receiving God's blessings, hearing God's words, and sharing the Eucharist together. It just makes me feel like I belong. But most importantly, at the end of Mass, we are called to serve. Do you ever remember hearing Father Wayne say something like, "Go forth in peace, glorifying the Lord by your life"? I remember years ago hearing, "Go in peace to love and serve the Lord and one another." This message becomes my daily prayer. Prayer is my opportunity to change the world and maybe be the answer to someone else's prayer. And when I leave Mass, having been given this call to serve, I do not know what this means or what it'll look like every day. Maybe one day my prayer will be calling a neighbor and checking in to see how they're doing or if they need something from the store. Maybe one day my prayer will be bringing my mom dinner because she's having a hard time. Maybe one day my prayer or call to serve will be to stuff 100 envelopes for a local company who's trying to hold a clothing drive for needy families. There may be no fame or fortune from what I'm doing, but it's my small piece in the bigger picture. Can I go buy 50 coats for people who need them this winter? I might not be able to afford to do that, but I can stuff 100 envelopes, mail them, and collect their donations. How is this different from praying to God to end homelessness or to ask God to make sure there are no children cold this winter? If that is my prayer to God, do I really expect Him to drop 100 or 50 or even 10 coats from the sky? Or is it more realistic to hope and pray that there are good people and good companies in the world that can and will help out if I ask them? If I stuff and send those 100 letters? If my action helps, then isn't that an answer to someone's prayer? I'll share another story that maybe you can relate to. One morning I was driving to work, and I was not running early, and I didn't have time to stop and do anything but drive to school. But I was driving a very typical route, not really paying attention to much outside, and the normal things were running through my mind. What the school day would look like, what students I would see that day, what work I needed to get done, what was happening after school, where did my kids need to go later, what was dinner going to be, and on and on. And as I was driving down Mapleshade Ave, at a house I have probably driven by thousands of times, I saw an elderly woman walking down her driveway with her cane. And I see her bag newspaper at the end of the driveway. So I could see what she was doing. And she probably does this every day. And just then, as I was driving by, trying to make up for some lost minutes, I saw her lean over for her paper. And as she bent over to get the paper, she fell, right on her forehead. And she was clearly hurt. And as late as this could have made me, and as cold as it was outside, and as much as I had no idea what I was going to do to help her, I couldn't lift her, and I wouldn't want to hurt her. I had to stop. I just knew in my heart that I could not keep driving. Thankfully, another passerby pulled over after I did. We called 911, got her neighbor to come out to call her family, and we were able to put her in a more comfortable position and comfort her until we got more professional help. But I truly believe I was the answer to a prayer. Maybe her own children pray that God look over their mother and make sure she's safe. And if that is their prayer, maybe we were the answer. Maybe God himself does not come down and help this woman to safety. But maybe I was meant to be driving by at that time because God trusted that I would do the right thing. Does that make sense? In the Pneuma today, Rob Bell explains a few things in ways you and I may never have thought of on our own. He says that prayer is truth. He says that God can handle our prayers. Prayer can be an honest conversation with our Maker. Prayer isn't just putting something on God to figure out and then questioning him when something doesn't work out. Rob Bell said that we shouldn't ask God to feed someone who's hungry if we have plenty to eat. Can't we ask ourselves what we can give? Maybe you are seeking the answer to what prayer is for you. What is your role? Where do you belong? And who is listening to that call to pray? Prayer is being silent enough to hear the call. I heard the call to pull my car over and help. Maybe you will see that for yourself. Maybe you will pick up the phone and call a grandparent or someone special in your life who's just been shut in or who hasn't been able to get out and see their friends and just say hello. Maybe you'll pick up that bagged newspaper and put it by a door or on a table or on the top of a mailbox so that elderly lady does not have to bend over to reach it. That could be the answer to their prayer. They want someone to talk with or visit or help. Maybe you will see trash blowing down your street and decide to bend over and pick it up. Is that the answer to God saving the earth? Maybe it is your part in the answer. Prayer gives us a bigger heart. Maybe you don't know your part yet, and that's okay. For me, my part is to be the answer. I want to make choices every day that could be the answer to someone's prayer. I want to be a piece of the prayer and action puzzle. Maybe that means writing a note to someone, smiling at someone who's looking down, starting a conversation with someone I don't know, calling or texting a friend just to say hello, offering a neighbor some help with something simple around the house, teaching CCD, and so many more things that I may not even know are the answer to prayers. So we want to spend some time this year giving you the opportunity to figure out how prayer works for you. What is your piece? May your whole life be a prayer, and may you be honest with God as you become more and more open to your role in the ongoing creation of the world.